Hey, good morning. Jason LeSueur here, Vice President of Partners Direct Invest LLC, and just wanted to share with you the topic today is rental properties and managing not so much the properties but the tenants. We buy a lot of properties where we take over existing tenants and stuff in apartment buildings and in some single family homes, but I've been managing properties that I own or a corporation I'm part of own since 1991. So got quite a few years experience in it, and what I've come to find out is there's three very important points when dealing with tenants. And this is whether it's a property that you've taken over with a tenant in there or a property that you own that you've secured the tenant. Number one is repairs. We have makes the tenant feel very secure and stuff because they've had a bad landlord. And we tell them we have a 24-hour repair policy. And we try to adhere to that in all situations, unless it's non emergency. Um, and I have my guys planned that they know when they get a text on a property that we've got to be out there and have it fixed within 24 hours. Um, and I stand by that. So I let the tenant know that there's a relationship here, and it's as a landlord, I have duties to fulfill this relationship. Repairs, keeping the property up to health standards, safety issues, and stuff like that. And their part of fulfilling that relationship is to pay the rent on time, uh, abide by the lease, and abide by the city code. Uh, and that's number one. Number two is always you must get to a no. And what I mean by that is we just recently took over an apartment building, and we started doing some capital repairs and improvements out there. Just small stuff. And the tenants started seeing this, the long-term tenants, and the calls really amounted. Hey, I've got this. I got this little thing, and these are non-emergency issues. So, we'll spend a little time, look at their issues, take care of them. But it comes a point where you must say no to them. And when you get to that no point, then they're going to realize to call you, on serious issues, not just all their wish list. Uh, and number three is realizing that I like to view being a landlord as being a parent that has adopted a bunch of kids. That's what tenants are. Uh, and these tenants are coming from a background that you're not familiar with, so they could have been trained wrong. They could have been not treated right. So number one, we want to treat them right. Number two, we want to train them to our system, the way we do things, and we're very strict on that. So the lease says that the rent's due by the 5th. After the 5th, there's a 10% late fee. So on the 6th, I'm posting a termination of lease. I've got it set up with my attorney where that's something that I have on my computer. I can print that out and I can go post that. I'm not waiting. For years, I played around with it, and you build relationships with these tenants, and I mean, I've been guilty of it too. You give them a little bit, you give them an inch, they take a mile. So we just post the termination lease the day after the rent's due. This puts them on legal notice that they have 7 days to pay the rent and the late fees included in that. Uh, and I've had a great response with the tenants that will step up to that. But what it does even more is if you have a tenant that is, thinking about moving, was going to try to skip out on the rent and stuff, you've already started your eviction process. So after 7 days, if they've not paid the rent, then I'm taking that straight to my attorney and we're moving on to the next step. Uh, and I would say our success rate is very high with getting the money and the late fee within 7 days. Um, so, rental properties can be a headache. They can be time consuming. You can get the calls at midnight. You can get the calls on Sunday afternoon. That's 98 degrees out there and their air's not working. But really we just try to treat these people like, we would want to be treated if we're in that situation. So we try to take care of their needs first and foremost. And then after that, it's a business deal, and we just want to hold them to that. We buy a lot of rental properties. I understand that some people get into this business and that they really don't know what they're getting into, and they're just not cut out for it. But we buy a lot of rental properties from people that have had them for years. They've been lackadaisical. They've not been strict on, the rent being paid on time, the late fees being collected. They let people pay partial payments, and when we take these over, it's a job. A lot of the times we end up evicting the tenants. There's just no way to fix the situation. And we can generally get them out within 30 days. So we are looking for rental properties. If you would like to sell them, we're not capped at a 4-unit complex, a 14-unit complex. We're looking at some 42 and 56-unit complexes. So if you've got rental property, if you need a little help or suggestions on how to improve your rental property, reach out to us at www.webuytosellhouses.com. You can call my office at 205-841-9757. And if you've got a property that's just putting a strain on you, the relationship with the tenant is just severed, call us. We'll be interested in buying that property and seeing if we can't improve that situation and help get you out of this pressure cooker that you feel you're in. So reach us at Partners Direct Invest LLC, 205-841-9757. I'm Jason LeSueur, and I just want to share a little bit of my 20-some odd years experience in this business of dealing with renters. Thanks, and have a blessed day.